Hello everyone, Dr. Evil Genius, aka DEG, here with you today, and alongside me is Josh from Rush the Fort.
Hello.
You may have noticed the intro to the Minish Recap is a bit different this time around. The upbeat music we usually have just didn't seem fitting for today's news. And on that note, this recap is less about gaming news itself than it is about the man we all know to be a huge influence in the gaming community, Satoru Iwata. As you all know, Nintendo released a statement yesterday that their president, Satoru Iwata, passed away on July 11th at the age of 55 due to complications from a bile duct growth. This is just terrible news, not only for Nintendo fans, but gamers everywhere. Mr. Iwata was a wonderful figure in the world of gaming, as we thought through his Iwata Ask interviews, his speeches given at GDC, and of course the Nintendo Directs that we've loved so much here on the ZB network. That said, we'd like to take this time to honor the memory of one of our heroes and say a few words about him. I think it's really only appropriate that we start off with the words written by Spiegel, since really the ZB network wouldn't be here without him. Spiegel has to say, "While I am often unable to express myself adequately through written words, I hope that my terrible sadness at the passing of Satoru Iwata is tangible here. It's devastating to think that we'll never hear another 'hello everyone' from the man." Nintendo Directs were often the highlight of my entire month, but without the smile and charm of Iwata-san, there will undoubtedly feel like there is something missing. Iwata is leaving behind a truly great legacy of great leadership, courage, inventiveness, and, above all, a passion for his games and gamers that might have been unrivaled in the entire gaming industry. He will be truly missed, and his impact on the lives of every member of the ZB network cannot be overstated. It's very true.
Yeah, it's well put.
We'll go next, Josh, if you want to do a reading.
Sure. I'll read from Chris from 8-Brit. He says, "I am saddened to learn that Iwata has passed. It was so sudden, and he was too young. I thought he did great in all of his several roles in Nintendo, game developer, president, and so on. He did a lot for Nintendo, and devoted his life for making Nintendo better, even taking pay cuts in rough times. This guy was a huge inspiration to loads of people, and definitely one to look up to. I loved Iwata in the various Nintendo Directs, with the hand gestures, his kind voice, holding bananas, turning into Peppy in his puppet form. I won't forget Satoru Iwata. May he rest peacefully."
Next, Chase has some words that he wrote as well. He says, "I am still a pretty young person, so I really started gaming under the Nintendo run by Iwata. Most of my childhood I spent playing the games made by his Nintendo. So I really have Iwata to thank for pretty much everything. If it weren't for Iwata and the games that came out of the Nintendo while I grew up, I probably wouldn't love gaming or want to make games the way I do today. Iwata was a fantastic programmer, a brilliant businessman, and overall, just a good man who didn't deserve to die as young as he did. I mourn his passing and hope we cherish his legacy for generations to come." That's definitely something that's true. I feel his legacy is just going to reach so far into the future, especially at Nintendo, but just throughout the entire gaming world.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess next up is Kyle. He says, "Iwata was a large part of Super Smash Bros. Melee, Metroid Prime, and Pokemon Gold and Silver's development and success. Those 3 games alone have had a profound impact on my life. While I can talk about Iwata influencing my life, the more important thing here is that the gaming community lost a figure that genuinely wanted to see enjoyment in all gamers and game developers." And yeah, definitely so. He was really active in the community. Like, the Nintendo Directs are something that no other company is doing right now, especially in the gaming industry.
And they're really indicative of the attitude that he instilled into the entire company, of that love and that passion, not only for the games, but for the audience that they were selling those games to.
Yeah.
Josh, did you have some words you wanted to say here now then?
Well, I think I have one more reading to do from somebody.
Do you still have another one?
Yeah, from Todd.
Oh, yeah, Todd's important. Well, how about you and Todd go next for the whole Rush the Fort team then?
Alright, I'll start off with Todd's. Despite only realizing it shortly after Iwata's death, I now know how much influence this man has had on my life and where I am now. He's responsible for spiking my interest in gaming as I grew up, and therefore I owe credit to Iwata for my future computer science career, as well as the joy we have on Rush the Fort. I will hold the memory of Iwata close for all of my future endeavors. And Iwata's influence in Nintendo and really our lives in general, I didn't even realize it until just a few days, like just yesterday really, after hearing about his death, like exactly how much influence he has had on my life. Because he's been the president of Nintendo for pretty much the entire time that I've been an avid gamer. And some of my favorite games that I've ever played, like Earthbound, Pokemon Gold and Silver, like those games wouldn't be possible without what Iwata has done. He made the compression tools for Game Freak to allow Kanto to be in Pokemon Gold and Silver. He was one of the main programmers on Earthbound, and those are like two of my favorite games of all time. And just, I would not be the same person I am today without Satoru Iwata.
I think that can be said about pretty much every gamer out there, really. I mean, his influence is so far-reaching, even outside of Nintendo, just with the way that he expressed himself and loved reaching out to other people. Mm-hmm. And that pretty much sums up my words as well. The attitude that he brought is astounding. And I agree with you and Todd both. Up until a few days ago, I never realized just how much of my childhood, how much of my life in general was influenced by that single man.
Yeah.
Everybody, rants and raves about Shigeru Miyamoto, and that's true. He's a wonderful influence, but it's unfair how much, up until recently, he kind of eclipsed Iwata's presence and contributions.
Yeah, I mean, Iwata has gone, I think, really underappreciated for his entire time in the gaming industry. It's like we've all known him as the president of Nintendo and that guy who does the Nintendo Directs, but I never realized exactly how much he's done for the company.
Yeah,
and
reading up on everything recently, the Game Freak compression, the fact that he is responsible for Kirby and Earthbound, the work that he did on the Super Smash Bros. Series,
the fact that he was one of the main programmers behind getting Melee out in time for release of the GameCube,
which is
that's crazy.
Great story, hilarious story, and on its own as well.
Yeah,
it's really depressing, honestly, to lose him at such a young age when he still had so much ahead of him to do for the company as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say, I really hate to word it this way, but it's the best way to say it, is I look forward to seeing what Nintendo does after this, in as much as seeing what they do with the legacy that he left behind, and who they have as the next president, and where they go forward with their marketing and all that stuff. It'll be interesting to see what they actually learned from him and from the experience of working with him.
Yeah, because he has had an undeniable mark left on that company in his time there for over a decade.
Yeah, and only as the fourth president of Nintendo and the only president not part of the Yamauchi family.
Yeah.
The only president that is actually a gamer and a programmer and a designer, the one with the heart of the gamer.
He was pulled from the rough and tumble of the Nintendo staff, really.
Yeah, he definitely worked his way up and earned it. And that is something to really, a testament to his character as well. I think we'll get into the closing. We're approaching 10 minutes here.
Okay.
But in that closing, Ollie wrote some words here that really say it best in just such a short and sweet manner. It's really some of the best eulogy, however you want to phrase it, that we've gotten, in my opinion. He says, Iwata, we don't understand, but we hope you go
directly
to a better place. Mr. Iwata, thank you for everything that you did for the gaming community and the gaming world at large.